Hey everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Eternal Evolution, and today I wanted to talk to you about some of the most important beginner tips for, well, starting off this game. So I'm here on a brand new server just to take a look at what events are popping, or, well, I did some other videos related to this, but you'll see that. But I wanted to talk about some very important points. I'll pop onto my account for some things and my real account, and also here for you guys. But first of all, summons. Let's talk summons. My biggest tip, guys, is resist the urge. I know it's new and exciting, but unless you are spending money, like a decent bit of money in this game, I mean, do not use your limited summons at all. I know that sounds weird. I know some games are very much, you need to pull everything in the beginning because you just need people. You need to get people, right? You just need to get people so you can push content. That's true in this game to some extent, which I'll talk about in a second, but when it comes to the limited recruitment cards, these ones in particular, for your very first set, do not pull unless you have to because an event says to. If an event says do 2 limited recruitments, okay, go do that. But don't use these right away, guys. Don't use these once. Ooh, I got 60, let's get a Luke. No. I know it sounds crazy and I know it sounds hard, but use these smart. So this is just such an important thing to talk about because in a couple weeks, if you guys remember, this is an idle RPG. It is not like Raid Shadow Legends for all you new Raid Shadow Legends players that are coming over here. It's not like Infinite Magic Raid. Even Infinite Magic Raid is kind of a mix of both, where you can have a little bit of idle, a little bit of grind, a lot of bit of grind if you want to. This is an idle RPG. It's not meant to obsessively grind. Play the long game, play the chill game. Let this be a side game. Play that more relaxed and you'll benefit much more in the long run. And the limited summons in particular, you get chips for. These chips, you always want to be able to buy gene hybrids every time a new shop, like every time one of these banners rotate. We call these banners usually. Once they rotate, a new one comes here, buy that. Look at the value, 80 versus 120. But a gene hybrid is the same thing as a legendary champion. Not legendary, sorry, triple S champion. Don't want to get those terms confused, they're different in this game. But hero, and also hero versus champion, all the things. But legendary heroes in this game, legendary champions, I should say, in this game are epic triple S heroes for all my raid folks, right? But anyway, so you want to save these until you see something up here that says double chips, bonus chips, whatever they might make it say next. Usually it's double chips unless it was like the Halloween event. That's when you go all in. Whoever it is, just keep pulling. Just keep pulling. Pull everything once you know the rotation, and it should also, I mean, even if it doesn't align with the recruitment event, just pull all of these limited recruitments when you see double chips. If we know for sure there's going to be another recruitment event to line up with it, you could wait a couple days, wait a week, whatever it is, but don't miss double chips. That is insane, because when you get those, that opens up the shop, and then you could buy multiple copies of champions, or, okay, let's say you, the next banner pops in Bailey Hudson. Here, you can buy a copy of Bailey Hudson and then work on him later. Or, you know, like it's actually a really, really good strategy, guys, to be patient in this game. I know it sounds silly, but it was totally worth it in the long run for me. But do not use your limited summons. So what you do want to use is, you can do this, honestly, this is okay. This novice, use some diamonds right away, get some champions, sure, because you get a ton of diamonds right away just by pushing through the low stages of content. So if you can actually, I mean, most games, if you start them early, that's one of the best advice, beginner advice for any game. Start on a day that you can play all day long and grind, right? So if that's the kind of, if you want to get a big start to progress your account, start on a day that you can just relax and play this game for a while. That's really helpful too. Push through content and you're going to get so many diamonds. So once you get going, the diamonds are going to slow down because your progression is going to slow down. But in the beginning, you're going to get a lot free. So it's okay to use some diamonds, get some champions, and get your account rolling. So that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to do a little bit of this, do some basic summons, and do a few advanced summons as well. But once you get going the first couple weeks, stop using your advanced as well and save them for when there is a recruitment event. Now, what I'm talking about here is you will see recruitment event here. Typically, that has been the second week of a brand new champion banner popping. So, we have brand new champion, Ravenna. Normally these are like 14 day or 13 day or something like that, longer. They're normally longer. And then the next week after that would be when the recruitment event pops. But things are a little bit different on a brand new server, so you kind of got to play that by ear. We don't know exactly if things are going to be different on the new North American servers, for example. But if you see double, like a 2-week long banner pop up here and there's no recruitment event, don't worry, the recruitment event will come in about a week. So it's worth it to be patient and try to max out one of those events. If you're just starting out, make sure, another reason, like I say, to make sure you have time to grind ideally, is this grand ceremony. This is such a good chance to get some bonus rewards by just pushing through content. So you get points by doing different things here. And yes, they are actually pretty generous in the fact of, if you buy one of these monthly passes, you get amazing points for that. So they really do reward you for spending just a little bit. It's actually quite nice. First recharge, spend 99 cents, boom, 8,000 points. And then once you get to grinding your champions, if you're able to start spending some runes, that's good, pretty good points. But be careful of that. Don't just do it for the sake of this. Doing your battle order every day, progressing in soul mine, progressing in story, everything gets you points. So you want to go through and try to get these. You'll get free Triple S champion at the end of this. So you don't even need to pull on the Ravenna banner to get her. You don't even need to pull for her with your limited cards. You can save those for when it's double chips, because if you actually can grind this very well, you can get her at the end anyway. And then you could use Gene Hybrids in the future to max her out if she's worth it. Now, is she worth it? We're still looking. I don't have an answer for you yet to see how OP she is. I'm waiting for some of my guildmates to test her out because I have not done so myself yet. But once I have some more experienced players' opinion, I will put out a video on Ravenna. But look at all these along the way too. Limited card, advanced card, limited card, food. We always want these. It's food, food, food. That's how you level up everything. Another limited card, another limited card, another limited card. So you could really stack up some nice rewards. Then at the end, if you are in the top 100, you get even more rewards. So that's really cool as well. Every 60 of these is a friggin' Serena. And this is obviously 1 through 5. Let's be honest, they're obviously going to be the people that spend. But who knows? Maybe you get lucky in your server and you be a little bit low spend and you could actually max this out. But this is totally cool, guys. For someone that is going to be a big spender in this game, to be able to make it worth it and get 1 or 2 copies or 3 copies of Bailey Hudson just by being in the top here, it kind of makes that financial aspect a little bit more worth it when you know you're getting the best top tier Triple S champion in the game for Arena, who is still the king of Arena right now. So keep that in mind. It's a really nice setup here as well if you are willing to spend, but don't get discouraged if you're not. Just push what you can, try to progress, and keep getting extra points here as well. I think this does you get points based on how far you get. So once you get to this, if you get through this point, you don't get any more points afterward though. Keep that in mind too. But it's great. It's a really fun feature to try to maximize all the beginner events. Everything is much more friendly too. You'll notice that what will pop up here, even like I was talking about with the recruitment event, that is more new player friendly typically. It used to be, it's more expensive after, so to speak, as far as resources go, for maxing out a recruitment event after the first few weeks. But typically servers have been on a 5-week starter kind of rotation. Like you'll go through 5 weeks of specific events and that every new server will go through, which is why it's always best to start on a new server. Always best to start on a new server. And if you're just watching this right now and you're like, okay, where do I start? Which is so weird. I actually literally was on 15. I was literally on 15 said okay, and then it put me on 14. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. But if you're watching this and you're like, okay, there's 15, and then the next day you log in, boom, there's 16. Okay, go. You want to try to ideally start early in the day on a brand new server, so you're starting day one with everybody else. So that's a really important tip too for progression. You want to be at the same level as everyone else, so arena, all the grinds, everything competition-wise is a little bit more fair. But that's all for now. There's so many other things I can talk about, and I'll be trying to put out more videos in the future, but for now, I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you in the next video.
Eternal Evolution. Play now for free.